Hey guys, it's Jamie here. I was going to do a journal cover from scratch, but then as my dog ran out of dog food and I saw this cute little box, I thought let's make the journal cover from the box and make a shorter journal that has quite a big spine, so it's going to be a chunky journal. I've already cut the two ends off the box and one side so that it can now be opened out. And all I'm doing here is using my ruler and a craft knife to straighten up the edges. Now that everything's been straightened up, I'm going to use the bookbinder's tape, which I've got in black, to strengthen the sides. I'm running the tape along the edges so that about 50% can be folded over the edge. I'm simply going to work my way around the box, covering all the edges and also the spine areas. Once all the edges and the spine areas have been covered with the tape, the next thing I'm going to do is measure the 6 panels that have been created. That's the front cover, the back cover and the spine on both sides so that they can be covered with black cardstock. You do not have to make a journal cover this size. I'm just showing you that I'm measuring so that I have a small gap between my black cardstock and the very edge of the journal panel. I'm not the most skilled with not getting glue everywhere, and on black cardstock that really shows up. So what I'm doing is I'm using double-sided tape on the edges and a couple of pieces down the centre of each panel, and then infilling with glue. Next, I'm carefully placing that cardstock on top of the first panel, say the journal cover, and as you can see, there is a very small gap between the cardstock and the bookbinding tape. With everything being in black, it actually passes close-up inspection on lining up and areas that I have problems with. The spine is pretty wide, so I've marked up 3 signature holes at both ends of the spine. They are 2 centimetres apart, with the central one being central to the spine width. I apologise for the camera shake as I punch out these holes. It's because the new setup for my camera is actually a desk grip. Therefore, every time I move my table, we get a bit of out of focus shake going on. The way I do these holes is I mark up the original spine before covering, punch all my holes through, then I cover one side of the spine, re-punch the holes, then I cover the alternative side of the spine and re-punch the holes again, because each time I can see the hole that I've punched before. This might be a more long-winded way to do it, but it assures me that I'm constantly punching the holes in the correct place. I've gone through that process and now the spine is covered on both sides, and I'm going to add some brads to each of those holes using the Big Bite, the crocodile. This thin elastic thread is going to be cut into 3 lengths. Each one will hold 1 set of signature papers. Because they are elastic, I only cut the length of 1 measurement of the gap, thread it through, and then use the elastication to pull it tight and tie a knot. Once that has been done, you've actually got the places for your signatures, and the elastication means you can fit papers underneath. The advantage of this type of binding is that you are able to decorate the pages first before putting them into the journals. The only thing you have to be careful about before decorating your paper is to make sure that it will all fit under that elastic properly and that you can close the journal without the paper hanging over the edges of the journal before you get round to decorating. I have learnt the hard way on that one and decorated pages first, and then they didn't fit under. I realise that was a very short tutorial on the Midori style binding. We will be looking at pages and page decoration next. I do have some other Midori binding tutorials on my YouTube, which is called Journaling with Jamie. I will link that channel in the video description. and I will see you next time. Bye.